Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to talk about how I record my videos while I'm writing. In the past, what I would do is I watch different YouTube videos, and there's a lot of great YouTube channels out there, and I watch these guys record their rides and be at ease with it and make the rides interesting. The adventures are fun. And I know that I wanted to get into that because I've always recorded videos of our vacations and so forth. So I decided to, on my own, kind of create my own videos. And that's what you've been seeing lately are the riding vlogs that we've been doing every week when we do our endurance rides. A couple of questions that I asked myself was, how do they do that? How do they actually make it so easy and seamless to ride with a camera? And the second question was, well, what kind of equipment would I need to be able to record this adventure? And the third question I asked was, then how do they actually make it look cool? Because I'm sure many of you have come across your videos and you watch it and you're like, it's okay, but it could definitely be better. So those are the three things that I'm going to talk about, but I'm going to break it up into three parts just for the sake of the length of this video. Question number one, I actually put that one out of order, but question number one would be what gear you would need to do a riding vlog. Couple of different options out there. The first one is I want to show you guys different cameras. So this is a Canon, an old Canon Rebel T5. This is great because it has the ability to, you can actually zoom in closer. Now this doesn't have a telephoto lens, but you can definitely change the lens out of this one, and then you can zoom in a little closer and you can get some really great shots with some depth of field in them. The second option that you can use is you can get a smaller point and shoot camera. So this camera I loved when it did work. It doesn't work anymore, unfortunately. This is the Canon PowerShot S95. And I love this camera because it's super light. It's so super easy. It's just a simple point and shoot. It's got a couple of options up here. You can do manual shots. This was really good in low light setting. And I actually recorded a couple of videos in this several years ago. Unfortunately, it stopped working, so I am no longer using it. And then the last option would be an action camera, such as the one that I use. I actually have two of these. The other one is recording me right now. So this is a DJI Osmo Action. What I really carry with me on my rides, I just really try to keep it simple. And that is this DJI Osmo Action. Now I know I told you that this doesn't work anymore, but obviously I don't go for this because it's not waterproof. Unlike this one, it's waterproof. It is shatterproof. A car can run it over and it'll be fine. And you know, if it's raining, I don't have any issues with it. I could drop it and it could still work. And so that's really why I travel, or why I record my videos using the DJI Osmo Action. I do not carry around the DSLR. I actually don't use this hardly anymore. It would be great for photography. It can also do great videos, but I don't carry it. One, because as you know, it is pretty heavy, and I know there are vloggers out there that do carry these big massive cameras with their lenses, and I just don't want to chance that it would get wet if it rains, or if I fall off the bike it's going to get shattered, and I don't want to invest in something, and these can get very expensive, so I don't want to invest in something that is several hundreds of dollars and then something silly happens where I drop the camera and that's it, and the whole video is done. So that's why I go with the Osmo Action. And there's so many different ways that you can get your shots with the Osmo Action. Because it's so small, you can put it anywhere, you can leave it on the ground, and you don't have to worry about it getting dirty or get dust inside it. I'm going to show you guys how I actually ride with this thing and what I do when I'm riding, how I take it off the bike and start shooting whatever I want to record in the ride. So here we are in my garage, and I have my bike here, but I wanted to show you guys how I do this. So here's my camera, and again I have the GoPro. This is the seat post mount, but I don't actually have the seat post mount on here. Instead, I have this type of mount that's an adhesive. This is Canyon, the Aero Cockpit, they call it. It's pretty flat at the top here, and so it works really well where I can just stick this adhesive mount on there. And what I do is I take my camera, and it's already comes in this housing. And I also have this lanyard, and this lanyard will come in handy, especially when you are riding. And I'll show you in a minute how I do that. So I have my camera on the handlebar here with the adhesive mount. Slip that in there, okay? Yeah, you can get some different shots. It could be you riding or I can tilt it this way so I can get the trees and the sky. So that's one way of getting the shot. Now, how do I go about taking this off the mount safely and record myself riding? And so what I do, and this is where the lanyard plays a role now. So I make sure that, of course, this is tightened. I slip the lanyard to my wrist because the lanyard's attached to the camera. And what I do is I unloosen the rubber stopper, and then I go ahead, and as I'm riding, I push this in, and notice how it doesn't actually fall through all the way, but it could, and it's happened before, and I've been lucky enough to catch it. Taking it out and it falls, I have it in the lanyard so it doesn't actually drop on the ground. Most of the time it actually stays like this, and so all I really have to do is just pull that out like that and start recording and have the camera facing me. And I could have the shot all different places, or I could hold it this way and have shooting in this angle, or I could have it up behind me so that when Jason's behind me, I can get a recording of him. I just want to make sure that I get this point across, though, is you can record, you can press the record with your thumb, but I often find that if I'm holding it like this, it's really hard to press the record. And so what I do is I actually hit the record button first before I take it out of the mount. As I'm riding, right, I have both hands on the handlebar. And so I have it in both hands on the handlebar, and I see something and I want to record something. And so what I do is I put my hands in the lanyard there, remove it like this. I still have my right hand on the handlebar. And I do my right hand because it's easier for me to shift to my cassette as opposed to my left handlebar where that shifts in my chainring. And this is great also because I can keep my eyes on the road as I'm doing this. This is all by feel. So let's just say that, I'm recording, right? And I hold this up and I'm slowly kind of recording the scenery, and it's beautiful out, and all of a sudden I notice something like an obstacle or maybe a car, and I need to get away. I need to get out of the way real fast. So what I do is I actually just drop this, and then I have both hands on the handlebar. If that's the case, camera could still be recording, but that's okay. So I have both hands in the handlebar, and get out of the way, whatever I have to maneuver out of the obstacle. And then when I'm done with that, I can go back to my camera, slip that in, and we're good to go. So the ideal thing, if you really wanted to try this, is I would suggest maybe getting a lanyard that can adjust to the size of your wrist, because this right now, it can actually easily fall out of my wrist. I've never had that happen because I'm usually pretty careful, but just to ensure that you don't actually drop it. So yeah, so that's pretty much how I record my rides, and I don't have like a little, what I call bivy bag in the front where I can just drop the camera in there. I just feel like it's just too much fuss, and my handlebars are so narrow that I just don't have enough room really up here in the front for any of that. So I I prefer this. This is really simple and really easy. So let's talk audio. Now there are two ways that I go about with the audio. The first one is what I'm doing now. I'm indoors and I want my audio to be as clear as possible. So what I use this little guy. This is a lav mic and it's attached to the Osmo Action. And I use something called Synova, and Synova attaches to one of the interfaces in the Osmo Action, and I can attach the lav mic, this $10 lav mic from Amazon, and it works really great in providing clear audio. Do I carry this around with me when we're riding outside? I don't carry the lav mic with me and I don't have that Synova attached to it. But if I were to ride around with the lav mic, this has to be exposed, so therefore it's not going to be waterproof. And so I actually just use the audio on the actual camera itself. DJI did do a firmware update, and the audio, I feel like it's great. I do have to adjust the volume a little bit once I upload it to Premiere Pro, but for the most part, I feel like it does a great job capturing the audio. So I prefer to immerse my audience in the environment that we're in. I love listening to the birds chirping and to the water running in the background, but also be able to hear the person talking. And so for the most part, I don't have any issues at all with the audio of the Osmo Action. And so I don't carry an external microphone with it. So I like to keep it simple and just carry the camera with me. On the next part of this video, I'm going to show you guys what I do once I upload my videos into Premiere Pro and how to make it more interesting. So stay tuned next time. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch these different videos. I know this is a very small channel. Right now we are up to 36 subscribers. So if you are a subscriber, thank you so much for supporting our channel. And it makes it fun for me and for Jason to do these different videos. Till next time, guys, take care. Bye-bye.